Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Sorry that we're a little bit late, and for some reason our overlay which crashes when it's run. I have no idea why.
Hey, Mondonuts. Good morning from LA.
Good morning.
It must be super late at night for you though, right? Hey Mike, answer my call. I'm calling you.
I don't think I even have Discord open.
Open that Discord. It's 1 AM. Oof you. Hope you had a good day. I have the sun beaming into my face. It's that time in the morning where the sun's directly outside the window and it hits me like in the face every morning. Makes it somewhat hard to see what I'm doing. "1 AM in the past!" Yesterday. I wish I could be at 1 AM in the past yesterday so I had more time for working.
Here we go. I found you.
You found me? Awesome.
Got you.
Thank you for joining my call. So how are you doing, Mike? You said you fell asleep on the balcony yesterday.
Yeah. It was very, very, very warm yesterday, and the coolest place was out on the balcony. So I just took out a pillow and your towel and just lay there for a bit.
You slept under the stars, did you?
I wasn't under the stars because the balcony has a canopy, but I was at least outside. Yeah, it was nice.
Does actually sound pretty nice, yeah. Yo, Velocity Art, hello. Pocket Bear Illustrator Martina. How you guys doing?
I like that is the first face you want to draw on that page.
Well, I think the previous two faces are they're like duplicates of a panel from the previous page.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to like grab that panel for those two faces.
Okay.
So that I can get the compositions exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll investigate the overlay off stream, I think.
Yeah, good plan. What are you going to be up to today on stream?
Coloring Glim.
Heck yeah!
The Warner Brothers executives couldn't fire.
You're feeling inspired after yesterday's stream. That's awesome. You don't want to be called Velocity Heart anymore. Oh, you want to be Devon. Oh. Well, I'll just call you. I'll call you Devon then. I'll try and remember. Devon. This name was a mistake.
Morning of December 7th, 1941, Japanese army launched an attack on the United States.
Hey Dogbolt, how's it going? And your majesty.
The next day,
Pocket Bear Illustrator says, I'm good, just getting up for breakfast and I'm going to draw more thumbnails for my stream alert designs. Oh, nice.
America
Nice.
entered World War II. This had
So,
a simultaneous effect on the American animation.
I told you about this yesterday, but I finished, yesterday I read the one-shot by the author of Chainsaw Man.
You did, yeah. You were telling me that.
I'm trying to remember what it was called. Was it A Look Back? It was something like that, wasn't it? Wait a second. Velocity Art, sorry, Devon says, Mike, I can hear something about America and an attack. Do you have like a news thing going on in the background or something?
I shouldn't have anything like that.
Is that bugged? What? Wait, what?
Oh.
You can hear the news.
Okay, I guess I had a YouTube video open, but I couldn't hear it, so I don't know how you could.
We are now a news channel. bring you news weeks after it was put up on YouTube for your enjoyment.
I was listening to the history of Bugs Bunny.
Oh, right. Interesting.
So.
Huh. Was it good? Did you learn anything?
Yeah, a little bit. I learned that one of the original creators was called Bugs, and it was originally
Really?
it was Bugs's Bunny.
Whoa, really?
There's a bunch of people involved in like the development over time, but it's sort of like original thing is it's some dude called Bugs.
Whoa. I did not know that. I had no clue.
Paper Box House. Good morning. Hello.
Hey, yo, Paper Box House. How you doing? How are you? How's it going?
I'm just trying to get our screens working.
Are they not working?
Nope.
Oh, we're NDA'd. Look at the stream, see we're NDA'd. I see. I'm good. I'm like roasting over here. I'm not used to hot weather. Not in Ireland. What is this? This is madness.
Okay. Still not showing up for some reason.
I'm sure it's much warmer in LA. But it was like 21 degrees yesterday and I was baking. I was baking because we live in an apartment that's entirely windows and you can't open any of them, so it's like living in a greenhouse. It just amplifies the sun. We're getting hot and crispy. Fry me.
Fry me to the moon.
You're not in LA. Oh, gotcha. I hope that you're somewhere a bit cooler than LA. Somewhere where you can chill out. It's like, would you rather be too hot or too cold? I'd always rather be too cold because at least when you're cold you can just put on clothes forever. You can like layer yourself up. But when you're too hot, like there's a limit to how much you can take off before you get to like skin. And you're like, I can't. There's nothing else to remove. Like inescapable heat is so bad. But yeah, has anyone else read that read the one shot by Chainsaw Man author? Is it called Chainsaw Man or is it Chainsaw Head? I haven't actually read it.
I don't actually know which one it is. Yeah, your screen is just not coming through.
Wow, we are just not working today on the stream at all. Like nothing seems to be functioning properly. I mean, I'm working as in I'm drawing a comic, but it's not like Discord will let us show it for some reason. Chainsaw Man, yeah. You did read that one shot, yeah. Yeah, Divan, it was sad but good, right? Ben, you're dead for the heat. One donut says, I thankfully live on the coast, so I got the marine layer. Good for you. I wish I had that marine layer right now. Divan says, I had a character performer for animation as a guest lecturer today. Their name was Myrna Garwin. They've worked for Disney DreamWorks and Cartoon Saloon. They worked on the live-action TMNT movies too. That's amazing. Super cool.
I got it.
That sounds great. But yeah, I read that one shot and then I watched someone play a game called The Beginner's Guide, which is by the same guy who made the Stanley Parable.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's really, really good. I recommend it. Especially if you enjoyed the one shot, because they actually both deal with very similar themes, which is people's relationship with others' creative work and how that affects them.
So whether you handle it positively or negatively type thing.
Kind of more like how you can kind of ride on coattails a little bit in constructive and destructive ways. It's both of the pieces are like an exploration of that, an exploration of why people create and what you can project onto other people.
Okay.
Made me think a lot about why people make stuff, like what everyone's motivation is for doing creative work.
What's your motivation to do creative work?
Lots of different things.
Yeah.
But mainly it's my own drive to like want to make something really cool that I'm proud of. But I'd be lying if I said there wasn't some external validation need there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
Like, I want other people to enjoy what I make as well. But at the heart of it is just like an enjoyment in the process and an excitement for pushing myself to do something that I didn't think I could do before. Oh, you got things working.
I did, yeah.
Nice job. But yeah, they were both very thought-provoking and like they both felt very like emotionally sincere.
I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sincerity is a big plus for me in terms of people making things.
Yeah. But it's like the comic deals with kind of how you can be both motivated and demotivated by the competition of others. And the main character kind of hides their own feelings and their fears a lot.
Sorry, what was that last part?
The main character like hides their feelings and their fears a lot. Their fears of not being good enough, not being relevant.
Okay.
And the game kind of deals with someone who also is fearing that, but who is like kind of living vicariously through another creator.
Right, gotcha.
Super cool, interesting stuff.
I'm just trying. My brain, I think, is still ramping up, so I'm trying to think of interesting points to pull out from it.
Just, I would recommend, if people enjoyed the one shot, they'll probably enjoy seeing the beginner's guide as well, if you can find a playthrough of it. Or, you know, alternatively, for people who actually have time to play games, you could actually play it yourself, which is probably the better thing to recommend than watching someone play it. That's just like how I experience 80% of games nowadays.
Is through Let's Plays. That it is an interesting place we're at where people can consume games by watching them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of mostly, it's partially because I enjoy the personalities who are doing the consuming and just I'm interested in what they're going to say.
It's more entertainment.
And find that entertaining in itself. And partially it's just because I know I'm probably not going to have the time to play the game myself, but I'm really interested in the game.
Yeah.
And so I want to experience it.
You don't want to miss out on what you could learn from it as well.
Yeah, I just don't want to miss out on experiencing it. Like, if I'm really excited about something that I know I'm never going to get to play, at least if I see someone else play it, I get to kind of experience it in a roundabout way.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something that I know I'm going to make time to play, I won't watch a Let's Play of it. Because I don't want to spoil it for myself.
Yeah, I'm similar.
Thank you, Emma. I have to flick off this ink slayer and see if I've managed to keep the manic feeling of the sketch. But yeah, it's interesting, like, having these discussions about what is it that motivates you to work. Is it like the competition of being driven to want to compete and be better than other people at it? Is that a part of it? Is it wanting praise from people?
Are you asking me?
Is it like a self-drive?
Is this rhetorical?
This is rhetorical.
Okay.
I'm just talking about how it's an interesting conversation.
I think for the stronger creation, sorry, I think for stronger reasons to create, they have to be internal, because if all of your motivations are external, then you are kind of throwing yourself into the tempest of your environment. You need to have like an internal reason of like why you want to do it, regardless of what's happening around you. That's at least my thought on that.
Yeah, I think I agree with it. Like, I feel like there would be an inherent danger, though, with having things only be internal. Like, I think there's a healthiness in sharing your passions with other people.
Yeah.
And getting feedback on them.
Feedback on what?
On what you're doing creatively.
Oh, right, gotcha.
Like, it might not matter as much to you.
I thought you meant for a second feedback on your motivations.
No. I'm talking about creating stuff. Being creative and your motivations for doing that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Devon, you're too afraid to play the games? Why would you be afraid to play the games? Are you, intimidated by them? Oh, thank you, Martina, for linking it.
Okay, I'm back.
Pocket Illustrator says, when I was studying in animation college, it was validation, but that actually did more harm to my work than good because I was so insecure about it. Yeah, plus I love to draw because I love to draw and I want to make a career out of it. Yeah, Devon says, I cannot play Resident Evil, I am too scared, so I watch cutscenes instead. Fair.
I make stuff because I'd be useless at doing anything else.
Hey now, that's not true. The thing with you, Mike, is that you would be great at doing any number of things.
Can you imagine me in retail? Yeah. I couldn't.
I think you would be less happy there, but I think creatively, you are super flexible in what you are able to do.
It has to be something similar to this. I think a part of creating that I like, an aspect of it, is the solitariness of it sometimes. Like, even if you're working collaboratively in a team, when you are kind of like doing work, you can sort of just be on your own.
Mm-hmm.
I like that aspect of it.
I wonder a little bit about that.
Because if you think of like jobs where you're like your work is like maybe dealing with people, I couldn't have that.
Yeah, I guess so. I think there is a fear of being alone, though, as well. Like you say, you enjoy the solitary nature, but I think there's a fear of being alone with your own thoughts because of the amount of people, me included, who want to just put on white noise, essentially, while they work to keep them distracted.
Yeah,
like a lot of people used to just work in silence when they were making stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes I still do. It's just that when given the choice most of the time, I would choose to put something on.
But that's getting away from everyone plus yourself.
I guess so. In a weird way, though, there's like a social feeling that can come from like listening to a conversation, even if you don't have to participate in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pocket Bear says, "Oh God, I'm so happy to be out of retail. It can be so miserable there." We have a couple of friends who are in retail and who hate it, and we just want so bad to like be able to help them. Like, if there was anything we could do to like just make it so we didn't have to work there anymore, we would. Jeez. Yeah, and like, I was talking about the same person. I want Grog to escape his job. He deserves it. I wish I could be more help.
Be more help to the Grogster.
Yeah. I know he will. Like, it's a matter of time. I just wish that I could make the time go faster.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a nicer light, less yellow. I don't know why you redeemed that, Divan.
Just to try it. Waste of a good biddy.
Yeah, I'm changing. I'm changing. The characters aren't up to date because when I run the application, it just crashes, freezes. I'm my guess is with the Windows update, something's changed because I didn't make any changes yesterday.
Oh, was there a Windows update?
Yeah.
Oh no!
So I have no idea how to fix it. Even when I run it inside of Unity, even if I run it inside of Unity, it freezes after like a second. So I'm gonna have to dig.
Well, at least if you know what the source of it is, this update, you can do an internet search and be like, hey, this update, did it crash anyone else's game?
Yeah.
What have people found to be the problem? Are you doing that right now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys! Redeeming all of the stuff. No! No! Pocket Bear says, I'll be moving out of Dublin to save some money and take my art career more seriously. I just hope I'm making the right choice. I don't think there's, I mean, is it paradoxical to say I don't think there's any harm in taking a risk? Because it wouldn't be a risk if there wasn't, like, something attached to it.
Yeah, a little bit.
But, I do think that trying something like moving out and taking it, you know, more seriously, probably the worst thing that could happen is that you'll have to just move back or get another job somewhere else. So, like, you can always try again. I think it's worth doing.
Hamlet's giving me squats.
The one thing that he can redeem that you still have to do.
Warm.
So warm. Work it, Doig. Poor Doig. Hamlet wants violence. Yes. Ben says when the project is broken, it's a good time to remind yourself that you should have source control for your project to help with these kind of issues. I don't know if that means anything to you, Mike, but I thought I would read it out.
Yeah. It's where source control is like
A repo.
yeah. There you go. You know what it is.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so you could step back.
But there's no stepping back.
I know what you're
Because-
saying. You didn't change anything.
It worked yesterday. I woke up today. It didn't work. So
But still, wouldn't be a bad thing to have either way. But yeah, seems like it would have broken whether you changed it or not. But yeah, I was chatting to Mike yesterday about where we might want to go for New Year's. Because we really want to actually take a trip somewhere, and we're hoping that maybe New Year's will be a time when things have calmed down enough around the world that people can safely travel again. And all we could think about were cold places to go because of where we're currently trapped.
yeah.
Like, you know, at that point, it's probably going to be winter. It'll probably be a bit colder. Like, no, just think about going to, like, I don't know, Antarctica. How wonderful that would be. Man, I'm so getting an iced drink this morning.
Yeah, you're gonna get yourself some iced tea or something.
Yeah, I'm going to get, like, an iced coffee or something to help with the tiredness and the heat.
Oh, nice blue is nice.
Sweden is no longer a good place to go for cold. Is that so? Yeah, we have one fan. It's currently behind us, and it's constantly fought over.
It is now. Declan's been pretty gracious, but
You think it's gonna
I think it's getting to the point where it's too warm to
be
function in
gracious?
here. Yeah.
It's just gonna break out into all-out war.
Well, he's taken to moving it into the middle of the room, and I feel like none of us are getting the benefit of it when it's in the middle of the room. I would
Well,
rather,
you're
like,
definitely not.
Hmm?
Like, you're definitely not getting the benefit. If it's in the middle of the room
yeah.
and you're in the corner, there's no way you're gonna, like, the
Yeah,
fan's
I'm-
gonna reach you.
There is a reason I was out on the balcony asleep.
Maybe we
like-
should just buy a fan.
Maybe.
I don't know, like, this is Declan's fan.
Yes.
So,
So he's graciously like.
we're never gonna be able
putting
to,
in the
like,
middle.
to convince him that we should have it.
No.
Because it's, by rights, his. He bought it, so.
Yeah. He
Maybe
does
we
have a
should-
fan next to him, but it broke like a year ago.
Maybe we should get you, like, a little desk fan.
We could just buy one of those.
We could, but then we'd have to leave it here. Like, if we
Oh.
moved.
How much do they cost?
If we get little desk fans, then we can have individual fans. And, you know, it'll be easier to transport. That says buy a fan. You always need a fan. Fundraising for a new fan. It's okay. We can afford a fan.
Looking up one for like to get it from Woody's, and it's like page not found.
You hate your little fans. How come you hate your little fans, Jim? What's wrong with little fans? What you got against desk fans?
How big would you say that fan is?
What do you mean?
In circumference.
In circumference? Like 16 inches?
That's a good guess. This one's got like it would be about.
I judge everything by pizza sizes now. I'm like, how big is that compared to the pizzas you normally get from
I don't get 16-inch pizzas. I get 14-inch pizzas.
But when you have, they've been about that big.
Okay, that's fair. It'd be about 50 euros
For a big fan.
for a big fan.
What about a small fan? Huh?
Why would we want a small fan?
So you can have it specifically on your desk and we can take them with us. We don't have to leave it behind.
We wouldn't have to
Spend-
leave it behind.
Okay. I guess we'll transport a fan.
Yeah, I suppose not. There's also the Challenge Graphite Tower fan.
You get like a fan chair
Fan chair.
where it like constantly jets out little cooling bursts of air. How great would that be? I'm a
There's
genius.
So many kinds of fans. Whoa! Dyson white and silver desk fan doesn't even have fan blades. It's just a donut of. Well, how would that?
A donut of air. There must be a fan inside.
How does that work?
Magic. How about a water cooler chair? That'd be great. Oh,
The diagrams that show how it works just look like screenshots from fucking Stargate.
buy a Stargate and just go somewhere cold. My friend Jenny actually has a great tip for staying cool, which is get a hot water bottle and fill it full of cold water and then put that in the freezer till the water inside freezes. And then you've got like a cold bottle that you can hug or put your feet on or do whatever you want.
Hug or put your feet on.
Yeah.
You hug
The
you
two
up.
extremes of existence.
So it's your cold water bottle, huh?
Yeah. I think that's a pretty neat idea.
It's pretty neat.
You got to do it, Ben. You got to go for your walk. It's tradition.
Get out of here. You're going to cook.
You are.
Oh,
but
as in you yourself are going
Yeah.
to cook.
put on a nice baggy t-shirt and a sun hat and some shorts and go for it. Darkball says in order to stay cool, get some rad shade, stay with the times and be a good person. Some good advice right there.
Lol.
Stay cool.
Stay frosty.
Oh man, I'd love to stay frosty.
It's the child.
Yo! Grog, good morning. Yeah, we decided that we want to liberate you, but we don't know how.
Hashtag free the grog.
So how about you, Mike? Were you up to anything interesting yesterday?
I was coloring Glim was the most interesting part. Coloring Glim and had Supernatural on in the background.
How are you enjoying Glim?
It's good. Yeah. I feel like I'm trying to find my feet with it, but getting there. I'm trying to give it like nice kind of cool cinematic lighting.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
That's my aim. Even if it's like flat colors and just a little bit of texture.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We should raise TMM. What? Wait. What, Grog? Excuse me? We should do what now? I saw that you were working on a short animation as well, Grog. That's super cool. Raise TMNT. I'm up for that. Raise of the... That has lighting question. You were going to say raise the minimum wage to a living wage. But I guess raise to is what I said. It's true. But I think you get the same point across.
What's that?
What point?
Why is the light reflection on the floor not lining up to the side of the door frame? Do you mean this? Because if you mean this, then I was originally gonna have it go towards Midge, but India requested that it goes this way, so I'd midway through changing it.
Yeah, I basically requested that the light on the floor stretch forward instead of towards the staircase.
So I had it like coming through here and hitting Midge. Yeah, and the answer is it's not done yet. It's because I've got it on a whole bunch of different layers, so...
TMNT and the quest for the living wage. It's my favourite TMNT adventure. It triggered you, Emlet. You easily triggered by lighting being off. It's like seeing a picture frame that's like hung slightly askew. Oh my gosh, Ben, they tear us apart. The masses.
You're tearing us apart, Lisa.
You're tearing us apart!
Why would we be torn apart?
Hmm?
Why would we be torn apart? And by who and by why?
Grog was trying to say hashtag raise minimum wage to a living wage. But he accidentally said raise TMM instead. And then we were joking that he was going to say raise TMNT.
Oh, okay.
And then we combined raise TMNT with the living wage thing.
Okay.
So, I think it was Ben
Raise the Teenage Mutant
said
Living Wage.
TMNT in the quest for the living wage.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then that we should make it. But then we were like, everyone would be like, oh, TMNT's gone political now. All of
Oh,
a sudden.
gotcha. And that's the tearing apart thing, right? I'm up to date. I get it.
We don't have to explain jokes, but here at Doig and Swift we do.
We do have to, or we do explain them?
We do them even though we don't have to. We explain jokes so you don't have to think about the answers on your own.
I don't politics in my TMNT. I only want violence. says Zemlet.
Only violence, no politics. No politics.
All storytelling is political.
Grog, are you using Toon Boom now? What are you using now to animate with? Live and learn! Hanging on the edge of tomorrow! You're using Clip Studio, but that doesn't have cameras either, does it, Grog? It do? Wow, I had no clue that Clip Studio had cameras. That's super cool.
That is cool.
I bet that's hugely helpful.
So let's say there was a... some volumetric lighting coming in from the windows. So if the windows are like here...
Chromail! We've got Chroma from Mondonuts who says, what's your favourite TMNT moment? Any series or show? Mine's when Mikey got caught clapping his hands instead of doing wall flips in TMNT 3. That lazy ass is my spirit animal.
The pedant in me. No, it's fine. Yep.
What do you mean the pedant in you?
It's from TMNT. We want to. That's all.
I love that moment too. It's so good. He's just stood there clapping his hands in the background instead of actually doing the work. Let's see. My favourite TMNT moment. It's really hard. And I can't pick anything from the Rise movie.
Yeah, you can. Or you can, but all you have to say is like when this redacted thing happens in Redacted, when Redacted does this.
Oh, okay. One of my favourite TMNT moments is probably Leo at the end of Layer Games.
Oh. Did I though?
The question is, did I really lose? But also, I love the fight at the beginning. It might be of TMNT 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so fun. It's so stupid and so fun. Oh, it might be when Splitter comes down from the roof in TMNT 2. And he's like,
That made you laugh so hard.
That made me laugh so hard. What did he say?
Well, he said something
yeah, so everyone's like, what were you doing up there, Splinter? And he's like, I was coming down to get you. And I'm like, why did you say it like that, Splinter? Why did you say it like that?
I think he says it was coming to a conclusion.
I was coming.
Or a decision or something.
To a decision.
What were you doing up there, Master Splinter? I was coming.
There was enough of a gap.
Flat out India just like rolling over.
There was enough of a gap that I was like, what? I bet if I look it back now, it's going to be like barely any gap at all, but it felt like a huge gap to me when I first saw it.
There is a pause. The pause was where your laughter was injected.
I was waiting for him to continue and he just didn't. And I was like, no, this can't be what he's saying.
Because what he was saying had gravity to it.
But he paused on the wrong word.
Yeah, he could have paused on I was coming to a conclusion. He was finishing up.
I was coming to a conclusion. It would have been better than I was coming.
I was coming to a conclusion. Yeah, I guess so. I can find that scene for you if you want.
I mean, you could.
Ooh!
Have you found it, Martina? That fast? Are you made of magic? How do you do this?
Master Splinter was doing what on the roof? Here we go.
Did someone else also find it funny?
Thanks, guys. Where's Splinter?
He's been up on the roof ever
I can't hear them. Why can't I hear them? You could all hear the other YouTube video. Why can't I hear this? You hear it. What the fuck is going on?
Sound must be set up weird.
The sound must be set up weird, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you it's trying to play music through my... Yep, there we go. That's why.
Trying to play it through the Xbox controller.
Yeah, that's exactly...
Mm-hmm.
I think it's supposed to be... this one? That's why you were all hearing that other thing and I was just not aware.
Because it was playing the news for your Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Where's Splinter?
He's been up on the roof ever since he saw your report.
Really? Doing what?
Coming.
Right! Doing what? Coming. Splinter, no!
Best moment.
Please. Keep that private. The gasp as well.
I don't think that was intentional. Abo.
How did they not know though? Was it not a phrase back then?
I don't know.
It must have been. I mean,
don't know if it was.
I didn't know any sexual stuff back then because I was a kid, but it must have still been a phrase, right?
I don't know. It wasn't a phrase in the 90s.
Oh no, they didn't know how bad it would age. But why was the gasp there?
The gasp there is because they didn't know
They
that
didn't
he
know
was,
he was there.
outside the window. They were talking about him and they didn't know he was there.
But it reads
Ninja.
for the wrong reason. Coming.
Splinter invented the phrase.
So good.
I love the live action 90s films.
Me too.
for
So
TNT.
stupid. I love them to pieces.
When you were surprised by Splinter coming. Alright, we've all had our fun now.
Yeah, everyone stop having fun.
I've discovered a really nice look to creating a light source. That's quite nice.
What is it? What's your secret?
It's a light blue on a divide layer. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot.
Ow!
So
Liking. That's my joke for the stream. I did it. I made a joke.
it
Humor's returned.
took me a moment, and then I was like, "Wait, did she? She did. You did mean that."
Liking.
Liking.
Ow!
Does anyone else get into this joke?
Sad face. Clap. Thanks, guys. Glad you appreciate it. You're
a funny one.
Yeah, I know. I am the funny one of of the two of us.
Of the two, you think you're the funny one of the two of us?
Yeah, like, did you not just hear my lichen joke?
Yeah, I think you are the funny one of the two of us.
How can you deny that comedy?
I can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
It's not possible. She made a funny, Splinter. You're sure that you would get it if Doig said the joke? Well, I could explain the joke.
Oh my gosh, Darkfall says both of you are funny. India is the hyper one and Doig is the deadpan one with the jokes that go too far. Do your jokes go too far? Do Doig's jokes go too far quite often?
What are you saying?
I love that that's a thing that Darkvault believes about you. Because I can see that.
My jokes don't go far enough.
Is that what you think?
That is what I think, yeah. Alright, so if I put a mask on this now, then invert it. Yeah, we get some light coming in behind the characters, so they pop, and then Midge gets a little bit of light on her now. Although I will take it away from here.
Hey, Hinky Pink, cowabunga!
Hello everybody, cowabunga. Cowabunga. The fact that Ula has you hit me in the back of the head to get me to say cowabunga is so on point. That's the part that makes me laugh the most.
Because it's true.
Yeah, like tap. Oh yeah, cowabunga everybody.
Please save me, cowabunga.
Dum 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 dum
I was like, should I make this face more realistic? And then I was like, nah, fuck it. His face is going to be super cartoony. You've already told me your best jokes. Oh no! Then what good are you? Yeah, that pencil test by Ula makes us look way funnier and better than we are. I love Ula's little animations of us. They're so good.
Yeah.
We do not deserve.
We don't.
We don't know why. Like, sometimes I sit and I think, how the heck have we managed to recruit such cool people around us, and why do they like us? We haven't done anything to deserve this. Just surrounded by super cool people. Very happy to be here.
Bum bum.
Be honest, we pay Ula. Rumbled! Damn it.
Rumbled.
We do. A huge cut of our immense profits go to Ula. Oh, no crow noise. Yeah. Do we have a crow mail? Oh, we do.
We
Hold
do
on.
have a crow mail, but there's no noise because the overlay's not working.
It's okay, I'm my own overlay.
You're not your own overlay. But you can be your own crow mail noise.
You can be your own comedy. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. We got a crow mail from Ben. Ben says, knock knock. Who's there? A pile up. A pile of poo. Is that what you wanted?
He already got that before. This is a callback.
If it makes you feel better, I don't remember having that before, but I could read the answer in my head and hear that it was going to be a pile of poo. Heck yeah.
I wanted no part in that. I knew what it was.
Do you want to make a joke up?
Do I want to make a joke up?
Yeah.
Do I want to invent a joke?
Yeah, because they're really hard.
They are really hard. I've got one though.
Go on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you call a monkey with no arms?
No, come on, dude.
A monkey.
Oh, it's not so bad. I hate that joke.
Why do you hate that joke
It's
so much?
rubbish.
It's not
And you keep
rubbish.
saying it. You never stop.
I do stop. And then I begin again.
You'll
and then
stop when I
stop.
make you stop.
I haven't said that in ages.
I thought I was safe.
You'll never be safe.
Crow-mail. We've got a crow-mail from Declan who says, I was going through my garage and I found my old step ladder. It made me really sad because I never knew my real ladder. That's real good. I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Ben's managed to go and find the clip. Gee.
Whoa.
Jeebus.
Whoa! Hinkapink says, I don't get it. Scottish Batman. Aid me and explain, please.
Wait, what?
You gotta explain the joke.
Which joke?
The stepladder joke.
Oh,
But
a
Scottish
step-parent.
Batman
A
has to do it.
No, a step parent
Oh.
is the monkey joke.
Oh, the monkey joke. Oh, never mind. I'm not invested anymore.
Oh, you see, it's still a monkey. Wait, how did I do? What was Scottish Batman like?
Try saying I'm Batman, but do it in a Scottish.
I'm Batman. There we go.
That's your trigger phrase. That'll get you back into it.
Scottish Batman is the best. Kim has got a joke for you.
Oh. Crow-mail. Crow-mail from Kimmy, who says, I have one very bad joke I made up. My dad said I should invite my new girlfriend over for dinner. I told him she's vegetarian. No worries, he said. We can absolutely accommodate her diet. Besides, I don't believe I've met her before. Kimmy, you made that up? That's pretty good.
You invented a dad joke
That's
within
pretty
a
good.
dad joke.
I don't think I've met her before. That's really good. Good job. That's way better than a joke I could have made up. Jeez, oh. I'm like, what did the squid say to the truck driver? It said, "You're a tentacle guy." Ha 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 ha.
I made up a joke on the Skyrim Let's Play.
Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was like, how many letters are in a pirate's alphabet?
Oh yeah, but you can never remember the answer to it.
I figured it out just now.
Okay, go on. How many letters?
How many letters are in a pirate's alphabet?
Yeah.
There's 32 letters in a pirate's alphabet.
That can't be right. Why is that?
Because there are 7 C's.
Oh!
Hey, Devin.
Devin!
Devin!
Devin! Devin! Hey, Devin!
Are you making a play on Kevin?
No!
Oh, okay.
I just missed Devin. Devin messaged me, but I haven't messaged her back yet because I'm a huge turd. And when I get busy,
No argument here.
when I get busy, I just run away from all messages ever. But I've missed chatting with you, Devin. And I would like to chat again and hang out. Maybe sometime this weekend we should get on a call. Also, I have questions to ask you about something specific that I won't say on the stream.
It's your social security numbers.
That's it.
Yep.
No, it's something to do with something that Mike and I have been thinking about, but we want to ask someone who we thought would know, and we think you will know. So, secret questions. Also, I don't know if you happen to be free this weekend, Devin, but I'm not going to personally be taking part in it because I've got a ton of work to do. But I think we were thinking to have like a little peg bar game jamboree.
If Unity is working again for me, then yeah.
So if you were free and you wanted to take part, then that will be happening. It's just for fun. Yeah, Hinkapink, game jam. It's going to be super casual. It's not like there's no pressure to have anything super finished by the end of the weekend. It's more just an excuse for everyone to get together and do a project together. That lasts a very short amount of time.
India. Is this a little L-shaped indent into the kitchen in the wall here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sure is. That's exactly what it is.
Cool. I need to factor that in. So would there be a line here potentially behind the mom?
Is Unreal going to be on the table? It could be, but I think people will probably work in whatever is most people are comfortable with.
Thank you for the follow.
But for anyone who doesn't know how to make games, like probably designing assets and stuff will be a big part of it, since most of us are artists anyway and not game designers.
We're thinking since we don't know that many coders or whatever, we're just gonna pile up into one team.
Yeah.
For it.
One team, and I've been trying to think of very, very simple prompts for very, very tiny games that we could make.
India says we because she'll supply the idea and then run away.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, me was me misspeaking. That you guys could make.
One team, one goal, one desire. Victor Draw, we're doing good. How you doing?
Let's make a fighting game. That's so complicated, Grog.
Let's fighting game.
Let's fighting love. In fact, do you want me to pitch you guys my game jam ideas?
Yeah.
And you can tell me
huh?
which ones you think are like too big, and which ones you think are like worth running with. That's a game where India has to dodge bad Doig jokes.
Listen,
I embrace them. I love them. They bring me so much joy.
My bad jokes.
You want to learn how to make a horror? Well, that's good, because one of my pitches was for a horror game. Bratton, who claimed you? I don't know. Who did claim you? You tell me. But yeah, I had like 3 mini ideas.
Like eggs.
Like eggs. I don't know why they're like eggs, but I guess.
Mini eggs. Like mini ideas.
Like mini eggs. So the first idea was for a horror game where the mechanic is that you just can't look behind you and you have to get to a place. And that's it. And it would all be about like building atmosphere and dread and maybe tempting the player to look behind them. It would be up to you whether you want to make those rules explicit to the player or not, or if you want them to discover it. But it's basically based on a story that I read when I was a kid that really scared me, about this monster called Rawhead. And it was just like Rawhead would follow you home at night And if you looked back over your shoulder 3 times, then the 3rd time Rawhead would destroy you and kill you.
Rawhead is such a great name for something.
It scared me so much as a kid because there was no visual descriptor for them. So I was just like, why are they called Rawhead? What?
Because their meat was uncooked.
But yeah, it's essentially just you have to get somewhere, don't look over your shoulder, and you could do it like however you wanted, 2D, 3D, but it'll be up to you to like pad that out and make it into a horror experience. It freaked me out so much. I used to like walk home, and whenever I walked home alone, I'd be like, he's there! Rawhead's here! And then I'd be too scared to look behind me. And then the second idea I had was more fully formed, but I am worried that I don't think it would be able to... I keep saying we. I don't think people would be able to make it in a weekend. And
Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
Mike and I have tentatively called it Katamari Wardrobe. And essentially what it is the game will give you prompts to tell you what event you're going to. And there's a huge wardrobe that you have to run down full of clothes. And your character is difficult to control. Think kind of like gang beasts. And any clothes you collide with will stick to you. And at the end of the run, you have like 20 seconds to run through this. At the end of the run, it will judge you by... it will give you a percentage score on how appropriately you dress for the event. So, for example, it would be like you're going to a gothic party, and then you'd probably try and like run into all the black stuff, like all the kind of spiked wristbands and stuff, and they would just stick to your character wherever your character collides with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the run, in 20 seconds, it would count how many things you had which were appropriate and how many things you had which were inappropriate and deduct that from the score and then give you a percentage. And there would be ridiculous things like, you're going to, a carnival and you have to run into all like, I don't know, the rainbow wigs and stuff. But they would just stick to wherever on your character you happen to collide with them. And then you could add in things like, for example, a level where there's a vertical wind tunnel and all the clothes are flying around it and you have to like charge through it and somehow manage to grab the right things on the way through.
Yeah.
Or you could add, Mike was suggesting, springs in and stuff like that to make your run through the wardrobe harder.
Anything physicsy, I'm for it. So
that's Katamari Wardrobe. And then the final idea I had was one which is much smaller and less structured, which is something which Mike came with a cool name for. As always, Mike's a naming machine.
I came up with Katamari Wardrobe.
You did. The name of it. But it's one which Mike named Low Flyer. And it's essentially a companion game for when you're listening to lo-fi beats on YouTube. And it's just like a chill fly through a cool environment that can be abstract or it can be real or it can change or you can have, fun fly mechanics. But it's basically just meant to be a chill experience for you to have an accompaniment to chilling out to music. Just something idle and beautiful to put your hands on.
I know which one I would choose to do.
I'm gonna guess you would choose Katamari Wardrobe.
Yeah.
I'd probably choose Rawhead, but... Exactly, Dark Vault. You just got informed about the party and your ride arrives in less than a minute. What are you gonna wear? And that would have like probably super fun visuals. So like Absolute or Journey or Flower, exactly like one of those. There probably wouldn't be an end to it. It would probably just be a kind of endless flyer that feels nice. Just until whoever is using it is done listening to lo-fi or chilling out.
You played a VHS game that your sister had called Party Mania. And it was about getting ready for a party and you had to do your nails and such.
Oh my god. a VHS game. I miss those things. Heck yeah. Was it good? See you, Jim. Rolling, 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 rawhead!
Rawhead. They say me rolling. They hating.
So yeah, anyway, what do you guys think? Are they good prompts, or do you think some of them maybe I should simplify a bit, or...
I have no idea. For 48 hours, they're all tough.
Yeah, maybe I should go even smaller.
The one that appeals to me most is Katamari Wardrobe, because it's very linear and finite, but it can be expanded upon depending on how much fun you're having.
See you, Mondo Nuts. Thanks for hanging out. Sleep well.
Because there's room there to try and figure out how the controls would work. There's room there to figure out like what could be in the wardrobe.
Yeah, building the assets is going to be time consuming. But then again, building the assets is what 90% of the people in the server are probably able to do.
Yeah.
So I don't want to choose anything with no assets to build, because then it feels like there's nothing for people to do
Yeah.
who aren't the actual programmers. Maybe there's something in the middle where there can be fewer things to build, but still enough that people in the server will be able to join in and have stuff to do. Programmers, more like pro gamers, am I right?
No.
Oh.
You're disgruntled. It was so good there.
I was reading out Ben.
I know.
So really you're insulting Ben there, not me.
Always.
Always be insulting Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you asked for it. No! He's gonna squat as I can feel it coming. Oh, it's not even!
I wasn't in time.
Got a crow mail from Ben who says, knock knock. Who's there? Pee-pee. Pee-pee who? Hello, Zats. Welcome. Wait, what? No, Mike, you can't do that. No. You're abusing your power.
No.
You can't unblock him.
No.
I'll throw something at your head.
I actually don't know how to untime him out.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You timed him out, you don't even know how to untime him out.
I don't think you can.
Why did you do this?
Impossible. Because he knew the rules.
Oh my gosh, what rules?
He knew the rules.
What are the rules? Thank you, Mortine. Ha! Usurped. Down with the king. I love that everyone's just acting like Ben is dead now. Ben! We barely knew him! I can't believe he's gone forever. Why don't Ben just keep looking at the rabbits? Oh man, that book's so sad. I mean, he's not back. Maybe he really is. Maybe you killed him with the ban. You banned him through space and time.
It wasn't a ban, it was a timeout. Maybe he's gone. Maybe now he's not saying anything.
I hope he's screaming at his TV.
No!
Yeah, let's ban Jaffa Cakes with Doig. Can we ban Doig from the stream? Skeleton James is in now.
I came as soon as I heard. It was so.
Not
Wait.
Best Boy Ben.
Wait.
All around me are familiar faces. Everybody knows that Ben's my favorite, so. You should just thank your good luck, Mike, that you didn't cause any lasting damage to our dear boy Ben.
Ben says he was cry laughing when he thought of that joke.
Thank goodness he's family. Oh my gosh, it's wham!
It's wham.
It's so wham! Tell Kotaku. See what they do. See if they can spell Doig's name right.
I don't know why people have issue with it. It's 4 letters.
I thought you meant Kotaku for a second.
No.
It's just not a very familiar word to people. Maybe you should consider changing the I to a Y. Have you considered that?
I don't know, how would that make it better?
I think maybe you should just change it to Smith. Have you thought of just changing your name, Doig? So that it's easier for everyone else.
No.
You know, just altering your existence to make it more convenient for others.
No.
Hmm.
I got immediately usurped, Kurzak.
To be usurped, surely you have to be usurped in the first place. And you, my friend, were not usurped.
What?
You were never usurped.
I was never usurped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, sometimes I just want you to argue with me. So passive. It's like, you're a big stupid head. Okay.
Yep.
You're a big stupid head who lives in a ditch. Alright.
Yeah, but the point of arguing is to win the argument, right?
Uh-huh.
So, if I actually engaged you in an argument, you are the type of person who would unrelentingly fight back.
I just need to win.
So, if I go, okay, I win the argument because there is no argument.
You don't win.
I do win.
Just refuse to engage. You don't win, it's just I don't win.
You don't win. Therefore, I win.
And that's unacceptable. Exactly. Forfeiting the fight isn't winning. I will win you fair and square. I will fight.
How many times have you joke cancelled me on the stream by now? I don't know.
Me.
What do you mean you? No part of my sentence had anything to do with you.
Well, I thought you might be talking to me because you'd just been talking to me.
Oh no, Kurzak says, how many times have we joke cancelled Doig in the stream by now?
So many.
I would hate to be cancelled.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry, I don't think you'll get cancelled for anything anytime soon. I don't think you're that controversial.
Yeah, I don't think I've said anything cancelable.
Apart from that one time you said that thing about yogurts.
Oh yeah, that one time. What? Yogurts? Yo man, yogurts need to die.
You love yogurts, how dare you?
Cancelled.
I think there was one time Doig said something like he didn't think lemon yogurts were very nice, and
I almost got strawmanned on Twitter yesterday.
you almost got strawmanned on Twitter.
Yeah.
You mean someone put an argument into your mouth you didn't make and then tried to take you down for it?
Yeah. They well, not try to take me down. They just like
Were arguing against something you hadn't said.
yeah. Like I said that that they were comparing Space Jam, its inclusion of a whole bunch of characters, as similar to Smash Brothers, and that no one complains that Disney, like with Kingdom Hearts and Nintendo with Smash Brothers, does this kind of like cross collection of characters together. And I made a point of like the fun of that is seeing them fight, and they put a lot of craft, like love and care into kind of drawing on the lore and creating movesets and crafting the experience of each fighter that they include.
Yeah, and also there's like the whole premise that they've been pulled into a fight by this thing called the Master Hand. The premise isn't we have these characters on a server because we made them to make money.
Yeah.
And we're going to make them fight because we have them.
And then their point was that I was trying to make out that the people who worked on Space Jam 2 didn't put love and care into what they made. And I was like,
jeez.
He was like, I don't think you can make the argument that people working on Space Jam 2 didn't put their heart and care into what they were making and absolutely love the characters. And I said, no, I wouldn't make that argument, nor did I.
Yeah. You were saying that despite the fact they had a huge roster of characters behind them, no singular character, apart from the main ones, had a chance to shine. Like, they weren't being used to their full potential. They were set dressing.
Yeah. But mostly I was just talking about Smash in that instance. But they were trying to imply that what I was implying by what I was saying about Smash, I was meaning the opposite for Space Jam. And
They
it wasn't.
Yeah, they were extrapolating out from what you said, what they thought you meant, and it just wasn't.
Yeah, I was trying to answer the question of why Nintendo can do it without recourse.
Well, I think
with
because
Smash,
it's part
and
of
I'm like, it's a false comparison, really.
Well, I think the thing that you had a problem with was the fact that they undermined their own fantasy. And with Smash, they don't undermine their own fantasy.
No, they lean into it.
They keep fantasy going, and they support the fantasy.
Yeah.
That's why they always say, character name has joined the fight. They don't say, we have added this character because we knew he was popular and you liked him. They act like it was the character's own decision that made them join that fight.
Yeah.
They keep up the illusion of the story, which is that these characters are coming to fight in a fighting tournament, which is run by a giant evil hand.
Yeah.
See you, Devin. You have a great night and day tomorrow, and yeah, we'll chat soon because I miss you, and we'll catch up.
You're gonna catch up with Devin. Do 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 do. I think you're working on one of my favorite pages from the whole book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I better not fuck it up then.
No, don't. I'll hold you personally responsible.
Oh. Well, I would be personally responsible, so it's fair. You can't blame anyone else. It's just like, it's like if Smash Brothers, the new premise was that the Smash world existed somewhere in Miyamoto's computer
Yeah.
and all the characters were on there and could be deleted at any time by him. And were constructed.
Oh, we haven't
Entirely.
talked about Space Jam 2 yet, have we?
We haven't. I think Mike feels much more strongly about it than I do. Like, I especially enjoyed the beginning part, and when they were getting all the Looney Tunes together.
Yeah, that's the most fun in the movie for me.
Like, I loved it when they were getting all the Looney Tunes together. I loved seeing all the Looney Tunes together for the first time, trying to learn how to play basketball again. Those are the parts of the movie that I really enjoyed the most. I found the story to be a bit overcomplicated. And honestly, the tone to be a bit of a mess of what it was going for. Yeah, I think the storytelling was not so much the storytelling, but the plot overall was like very strange and convoluted and just not very well thought out or put together or conveyed.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the linchpins that it tried to set up, a lot of the hooks it tried to set up to knock down later on, I didn't even realize. Like, I didn't realize what they meant, to the point where I had to discern from the payoff that they were meant to be hooks in the first place.
Yeah.
Like,
I know what you mean.
yeah, I had to look at the result and go, oh, that's what that earlier must have meant. When I was meant to intuitively get that when it first occurred, rather than through seeing the result of it much, much later, and then to have to come to the realization then.
It's like the payoff. It's like the ending paid off the hook rather than the other way about.
It's
like
like
for what's
it's like seeing,
foreshadowing.
it's like seeing a clown stood next to someone with a cream pie in his hand, and then he slaps the cream pie in the person's face. But it's only when the cream pie gets slapped in the person's face that you're like, oh, that was a pie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked. There's a part where they're going through a lot of different IP worlds, and I thought that was really creative and fun. So I enjoyed those parts. I think Mike disliked the entirety of it, and I felt very strongly towards it in general.
Well, it was more like, as I said yesterday on Twitter, that was the most fun in the movie for me. However, it was a string of sketches of creative ideas that were really fun, but they had no meaningful attachment to what happened later. So they were just non sequiturs. They were just like what ifs strung together. And I felt like that made them feel a little bit more shallow. Like, there's a whole sequence with Lola Bunny that I feel like would have tied into her character development in the rest of the film, but it just doesn't have any meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And that irks and bugged me.
Yeah, I can understand why. I was happiest during that sequence because it felt like for the rest of the film, the Looney Tunes were kind of out of character.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
I enjoyed them being loony and being themselves at the beginning of the movie.
The person I was talking to on Twitter yesterday put across the argument that while the film was mediocre, it was on brand for what Looney Tunes are, and I actually feel like I understand where they were coming from in terms of like the Looney Tunes being self-aware enough to know that they're cartoons and that they're in a film. But I feel like the fantasy of that is that they're aware that they're actors in film and in Hollywood, whereas this film, the premise is that they are like virtual extensions of creative IP. It's weird, this backwards logic of like they exist because they were I'm trying to explain. It wasn't like they were actors, it was that they were props. it was weird.
I think the thing is that you like to believe that once a character is drawn and has gained sentience because they've been drawn,
They have
that they
life
have a
of their
sentience
own.
and their own life, this like dimension where they exist. You don't like to think that they just exist on a server on someone's computer.
Yeah, there's a plot point somewhere later where they are threatened to be deleted. And it's like, that's so...
Well, like
That's so, like, undermining of the fantasy that I think it is...
well, for example, Superman is in that movie. Like, he makes a cameo.
Yeah.
And if you are saying that all these worlds just exist on the server, then what you're saying is that the New York that Superman keeps saving isn't actually New York. It's just on a computer somewhere. It doesn't really matter to our world. And to me, that kind of undermines the whole... The believability of Superman and the suspension of disbelief the audience has, which is that what they do really matters to our world.
The thing about the point that the person I was talking to on Twitter yesterday was saying was that in this canon inside of the Looney Tunes film, inside of Space Jam, all of these characters are fictional characters who exist in those stories, and they exist together. And because for me, I was coming at it at the point of like that the fantasy of each of those worlds is... I think I come at it wrong of being like, well, if that's Superman, wouldn't they act like Superman? But it's like, oh no, that's the Superman playing as an actor playing in a film of Superman. Like, oh,
I'm very
okay.
confused as to what you're saying.
It's so meta and convoluted that when you start to take a step back, it just falls apart.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not just applying it to Looney Tunes as a thing, though. They're applying it to all of the IPs
Yeah, exactly.
under their umbrella.
That same meta and logic applies all the way throughout.
And to me, thinking that Hogwarts like exists in a server rather than in Scotland somewhere, like, kind of takes some of the magic away.
Yep.
Superman says Metropolis, you fools. You're right. Sorry, Grog. My bad. Maybe.
So I feel like the meta side of it and the self-awareness that they are fiction might be on brand for Looney Tunes, but the application of it in this instance is disheartening because it treats all of the elements, the characters as like shallower than they are. Weirdly.
Well, to me, it's more like you just never knew where the Looney Tunes really existed before. In some kind of dimension, in some pocket space. Like, in a place that, you know, was just existed somewhere, but we didn't quite know where.
Yeah.
Thinking it's on some dude's computer. That's, like, just kind of takes the magic away for me.
Darkbolt saying, I hate the idea that even within the fantasy, the fiction is aware that they are nothing but fiction. There's something that is like Ouroboros about that.
I think it can be done in a fun way. Like, I think the Looney Tunes have done it in a fun way in the past. But the Looney Tunes are, like, so self-serious in this movie, too. Or they become self-serious as it goes on.
Yeah. It's just an odd one.
Like,
It's not for me.
I don't mind fourth wall breaks.
Neither do I.
Like Deadpool knowing that they're in an action movie. Like, I can enjoy that. But I don't like it when it undermines the fantasy for the viewers.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the end of the day, the viewers got to believe that Deadpool still cares about his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't expect Deadpool to go, oh, but my girlfriend's just an actress and she's not really dying. Like, she's not really been shot. This is just
For me, it's
a
more
big
like
effect scene.
the fourth wall break is they understand that they're being perceived,
Mm-hmm.
not that they are a piece of fiction. I don't know if it's
Well, I mean,
that's
the
the actual
difference is-
difference or if that's just my own
I think the difference is, even if you are a piece of fiction, the stakes can still be real.
inside of the fiction. Yeah, like
But
the
as soon as you-
consequences.
As soon as you make them not real anymore, by, for example, saying that Metropolis doesn't actually exist anywhere else except in this dude's computer, suddenly the comet heading for Superman doesn't quite feel like such a big deal anymore. Like, because you're aware that someone could just delete the comet.
Yeah.
And you're aware that even if it does hit, it's just inside this one place inside a computer. That's not going to affect anything about Earth.
Fiction to me is like, and I'm quoting this from the thing that I watched Neil Gaiman talk about, which is that fiction is using lies to tell truths.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the lie of the Space Jam 2 movie is the truth. It's like these characters exist on servers inside of Warner Brothers HQ. That's not a lie. That is the reality of it, and it's that injection of reality, when mixed within the kind of chemistry of the fiction, it irks me.
To me, it's just all about undermining itself.
Yeah, it
And
undermines its own believability.
Well, it undermines its own story because it's been telling us for years that these characters don't exist on a server.
Yeah.
You know, or at least implying that they don't. You know, I still want to believe that the Animaniacs live in the water tower on the Warner Brothers lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe they live in the Warner Brothers tower on the Warner Brothers lot inside a server that has a reproduction of the Warner Brothers lot on it. Oh, the villain's aware. Yeah, the villain is... This is terrible, I'm sorry guys. The villain is algorithm, which is the algorithm that exists within the server that suggests to the people who run Warner Brothers what kind of movies they should make next based on what's popular. So the algorithm is personified as a real human character. Well, human. I say human. They are human presenting character, but really they're data. And they can do whatever they want inside the server world because it's like heavily implied that it's kind of like their domain and they control everything that happens in there. But yeah, I think to me it just felt like it was a shame that they kind of undermined their own fantasy. Because I like the fantasy.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want it to be undermined because I enjoy that.
Yeah, you're
aspect of
invested
it.
in the fantasy that these characters have sentience and exist out with the cartoons that they feature in.
Yeah, and I still believe they do in this movie, that they have sentience and such. I just think thinking of them being trapped on a server is, to me, very cynical because I always imagined them kind of having their own dimension or something, not being kind of controlled in that way, like not being restricted and imprisoned on some person's computer for all time. Like, it makes me view the entirety of the cartoons with like a bit more of a corporate sheen now.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I always knew that they were, you know, employed by Warner Brothers in the fantasy, but never that they were kind of trapped inside this kind of nightmarish world controlled by algorithm, you know?
Yeah. It a strange one.
Yeah, it is strange. But I mean, the real problem with the movie, I think, isn't that for me. The real problem with the movie is just that I think that the plot isn't very well done, and it kind of stumbles over itself.
Yeah.
A lot of the setups aren't done very well, and you don't realize that you know, you don't understand the meaning of them, and so you don't understand events that happen later on because they're not very clearly set up. It's another one of those movies that does a thing where it includes computer games, but obviously none of the writers knew what computer games were or how they worked. So it's very frustrating to watch as someone who likes games, because it's just another example of games operating not how games operate at all.
Oh yeah, the video game stuff part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a part where at the very, very beginning, so this is not a spoiler, I don't think. But do feel free to like skip or just close your ears if you don't want to hear anything specific about
I think
the
everything
movie.
we're kind of saying is sort of spoilerish.
Yeah, it's true. This happens very early on. Is one of the main characters is told to stop playing computer games so much and to focus on playing basketball instead. And he's like, okay then. And throws his Game Boy in the trash on the way home. Like just a trash bin out in the street. And it's like, you would not throw your Game Boy in the trash. You would just not play it. You would put it in your pocket and turn it off.
No, but he's serious now.
What is this? What is this throwing your Game Boy in the trash? No one who has a Game Boy would ever do that. They were really expensive back then too. Like, they were state of the art. That would be like someone saying, I think you should stop playing so much Ratchet and Clank, and you throwing your PS5 in the bin.
Yeah.
So weird. It's like the people writing it did not understand what a Game Boy was. It's like the Game Boy isn't the game, you know, guys. It's like the game system that you play it on.
Yeah.
Imagine finding a perfectly working great Game Boy in perfect condition just sitting on top of a trash bin. Like, come on. No kid would do that.
The thing that makes Looney Tunes kind of operate and function is that like they're silly, but it's clever silliness. It's structure. It's like
It's wry. It's wry.
It's wry.
Yeah, W-R-Y, wry. The humor is very wry.
Yeah. But it has a clever edge to it. It's motivated by cleverness, whereas there's a lot of dumb decisions and decision making and character like choices
Oh, I mean,
throughout.
the Looney Tunes are also very stupid. So
They are,
Bugs Bunny isn't.
yeah.
He is sometimes, to be fair, but a lot of the time he's not. But some of the other characters are like
What I mean is,
completely.
the character might be dumb, but they're written clever.
Oh yeah,
But the characters are written dumbly. Okay, here's an for instance,
you mean
right?
you don't think the writing's very good?
Yeah, like the main character. There's the whole, what is it? Event symmetry in the film, where it's like when LeBron was a kid, he was told to take basketball seriously.
Yeah.
And one of the motivations of the person giving him that advice, because he gets it from someone, like he's adopted this belief and carried it through his life, pretty much, is like, you got to take it seriously. And the reason for that is like, you have the skills to, like, you know, help. It establishes that his mom can't go to his basketball game because she has to work. So it establishes that they're in not a good state financially. His basketball could help them, and it does, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you got to take it seriously because you got to take responsibility for all of that. I was like, oh, cool. This is cool character motivations. Like, this is part of the reasoning why, like, he's having to like go against his own nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
The film doesn't explore that in a clever way because it tries to do a symmetry with that to his son, how he's trying to impart the same lessons on his son, but his son is in a very different situation because of what he had done in his life. Like, his son isn't in a place where he has to like look after his parents or anything like that. Like, it's a very different scenario, but it's like
I suspect you
is-
may be suspect you may be trying to give the movie too much credit by assuming that it's trying to draw parallels with those two situations. I don't think it is trying to draw
I
parallels.
don't think it is.
I
think
think
it could have.
I think it's only trying to establish why LeBron thinks that way.
Yeah,
I think that's the
maybe.
only purpose. I don't think it was trying to draw comparison between his life as a kid and his son's life, apart from just saying that he was robbed of the fun and that's what he's doing to his kid. I think it's more there just to establish this is why he's become this way.
But what I'm trying to say is that his mindset is way too simple.
Who's?
LeBron's. Like, he comes across as really kind of dumb all the way through
Oh yeah,
the
you
film.
mean you don't understand why he's pushing his kids to do that?
Yeah.
Apart from like, well, I mean, it sets it up that that's the way he's been taught, so that's what's important to him, so that's why he's pushing them. But there's not a reason beyond that, beyond just that was what he was told to do.
There's no, there's no kind of conflict with that.
Conflict with what?
With that concept.
What do you mean? What concept is no conflict with?
The application of that, of like, you gotta take it seriously.
The conflict there is with the Looney Tunes, who don't want to take anything seriously.
Yeah, I just feel like it was mishandled.
I do think it was mishandled too. I think the
Because
way to go was not to make the Looney Tunes act less like the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
I think it was for them to be incurably, uncompromisingly the
Looney.
Looney Tunes,
Yeah.
and for that to force him to change
Yeah.
rather
Yeah, there
than
was
the
a
other way
weird
around.
It was a weird mechanic there. Like, they turned the wrong cog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a strange moment with the Looney Tunes where they're basically like, we didn't want to disappoint you, Dad. And it just feels so un-Looney Tunes-like.
Yeah.
It's very strange. It's a strange movie, but I had fun with some bits of it. And I had fun cringing at other bits of it with my friends.
You what at it? Cringed at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had fun cringing at it. Like, it was a fun movie to watch with friends.
I watched it later alone.
You watched it alone. Maybe that's part of the problem. So maybe that's where your anger comes from.
I'm not angry at it.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
only disappointed.
The animation's gorgeous.
It
Especially,
is. Yeah, I have no criticism for the way it was the way it was animated.
I do think that the characters do lend themselves better to 2D than to 3D. I think
Mhm.
that's partially just that you get more flexibility with the character models that you don't get in CG. I wasn't a fan of some of the ways the character models came out. Like, I still think they looked good. I just think they lost some of the appeal.
I think if they treated them like Hotel Transylvania-esque 3D models,
Yeah,
they could have.
but that's what I was coming to next, is I think the 3D characters are animated by the same people who are animating these very realistic characters who are also in the film. And you can tell that the sensibilities are different. And it means that some of the physical comedy, I think, doesn't land quite as well when it's being animated in 3D. Because there's just a lot more like follow through and such.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overall, is Space Jam 2 a good or bad film, would you guys say? I wouldn't want to label it as good or bad, because I think some people will enjoy it and some people won't. And like, who am I to say what films are good or bad? But I'll say that I didn't think it was very well put together for me. Like, I didn't enjoy it too much, but I did really enjoy some parts of the beginning, and I had a lot of fun watching it with friends. So
It is an oddly put together thing. It's not inherently good or bad. Like, there's so many. It's like there's so many dips and peaks and troughs throughout it that it's weird.
yeah, it's a It's also got much less of the Looney Tunes in it than the original Space Jam did.
I think that making the central conflict not be motivated by the Looney Tunes themselves it was an odd choice.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a Looney Tunes film, just be aware that it spends more time trying to explain its plot to you than it needs to, and there's not as much time with the Looney Tunes as people might hope there would be. At least not as much time with them being themselves, you know.
If they were intentionally trying to make LeBron seem if they were intentionally trying to mock LeBron all the way through the film, they weirdly succeeded.
I don't think they're trying to mock
I don't
him.
think they were either. Like, they do so much words wise, dialogue wise to kind of raise him up, but actions wise and the way that he is and his motivations and all the way through, it's a weird discrepancy between how he is thought of by the characters, but how his actions don't reflect how he's thought of. If I were like asked to like act as that character in that film, I would be a little bit like, wait, you want me to what? But you know,
Yeah.
people are likening like the two films, Space Jam 1 and Space Jam 2, and pulling comparisons between the two. Space Jam 1 had a more coherent arc.
It was
story.
a simpler story.
That
It was a very paper thin story, and it existed to serve as a platform for the Looney Tunes to get goofy, and in that it succeeded.
Yes.
This has so much plot that it spends a lot of its time trying to explain to you what's happening, and not a lot of that makes sense, unfortunately. Like, not a lot of it makes sense within its own internal rule set, which is never quite clear, which is part of the problem.
It feels like the looniness it is sort of robbed from the Looney Tunes and placed on the rest of the plot.
I don't think there was much looniness in the plot, to be honest.
What I mean by that is like the stakes of the game and the way the game was played was very
It wasn't
funny,
loony, though.
loony.
It wasn't loony. It's just that I don't think the rules of the game were never made clear to the viewers.
Yeah.
So there's never like an established kind of win condition for the game.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just like there's a lot of things that I think were not very well thought out with it. Anywho, we need to head off because I have to do stuff.
Okay.
And I was meant to 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
But we got caught up in talking about Space Jam.
Of course we did. Do watch Space Jam. There's a lot of effort and love put into the film by a lot of people, and it is worth watching.
Mhm.
I will say that.
I think you guys should watch it and judge for yourself.
Yeah.
Because obviously Mike and I also have quite different opinions on it.
For sure. There's a ton of fun in there to be found. Like a ton of it.
For me, that fun is very squarely concentrated in a certain section. I can't tell you whether that's just bias on my behalf or whether like that's a fair assessment. Space Jam D's nuts! Oh my gosh! Devon, you gods.
Alright. I think I'll forgo rating today. And
Oh, okay.
we'll just finish up.
Yeah, Space Jam watch together would be fun. Looking good, Mike.
Thanks, Swifty. I'll need to get the color hold on the mom. Okay. Well, I'll be working on more Glim today, so and maybe trying to get our overlay to work again. But until then, may the rest
Of your day
be filled
with adventure.
Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.